Remember, the key to success is working hard. For our country, we must have regard. Forget all your differences, let we start to build. And onward to progress we surely will. Because now, more than ever, we must show discipline, tolerance, and production to build a strong and better nation. I say that is the main foundation. So come let us work hand in hand, because this is our land. Come my brother, come my sister, and let us build a nation together.
Yes, let us come together and build Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique. This is our home, and we have a responsibility to make it better, to enhance it, to improve it, not just for us, but for our children and children. My name is Kem Jones, and I'm happy to be on this journey again with you in the dynamic hour where we can converse, where we can talk. I want to encourage those on Facebook and YouTube to please share the live. Sharing is caring. When you share the live, your friends on your page will discover the program, will listen in, will follow the conversation. I want to start off by saying we need to remain positive. There is too many negativity out in this place, and it's been pushed by the NNP, because the NNP wants you to believe that everything is bad. Even if you are having a nice day and you encounter them, they will still tell you that you're having a bad day. They see everything bad and nothing good. In other words, it's like somebody coming in your house and they just start complaining, and they put a negative energy in your house. They demotivate you. They beat you down. That's the NNP. They're the opposition, but not because you're the opposition, you should oppose everything. You should be against everything. It will backfire on you, because people know good from bad. People know when a government is trying versus a government who is not. And we are living in the day and age of technology. Things are easily accessed. So I want to start off with this piece from the vendors at the Spice and Craft Center down there in Grandance. I saw that on the MTV news, and I decided I will start off with that this morning.
The market, a vibrant hub of local crafts, spices, and souvenirs, has been a cornerstone of Grenada's tourism experience. Vendors welcomed the return of cruise ships and uptick in international visitors, but not every day brings success. Jason McDonald produces and sells natural oils and butters.
Close to 5 years. All right, it's close to 5 years. If you go back in the days of doing it manually, it's close to 5 years. Well, 2025, I know it's going to be a good year. Right? Once we make enough products and we provide to the public will turn out, because they love the natural stuff that is in here. Right? And I would just want to give thanks to the Rastafarian community for turning out and supporting the natural vibes that happens right in the shop here. So you could contact us 535-3550.
Despite the fluctuations, vendors remain hopeful, while crediting Grenada's growing popularity as a tourist destination.
I do the local spices, which is like the spices, all different type of spice, like the cinnamon sticks, the pimento, the clove, simas, all the local craft, the spice necklace, the most important on the island. And so far, for me, the tourist is going very good for now. And I hope to get many more for the time coming up.
Now it's just a little bit down, but we expect sometime it will go and it will, according to where the people come from too, right? But I want to say it's all right. We're just praying for it could be a little bit more, but we have to give God thanks for everything. We cannot expect all the trip to be the same. So I give God thanks, and we welcome the people. And I have lots of friends when they come, they like to inside it. They say, inside it, we like the spirit in you. Because the Spirit of God dwells right there. And where the Spirit of God gives you liberty, and my God is able to make me anyhow. So I don't have to mama or query for anything. Because God promised to meet my needs. And I trust Him all the way.
While the season has its ups and downs, vendors say they will remain resilient and focused on the positives.
Yes. Thank you very much there, MTV. That was a good piece. The vendors, I love that. They would remain optimistic and they would focus on the positives. That is important. Very, very important, because we have grown accustomed to so many negativity, so many, bad things and bad stories and horror stories. It's like the norm for all these years. You just want to hear something bad about somebody. So like you have a daughter or a son doing good every day, and for some reason they fall short. You stick on that for the whole year, but you forget about all the good things that they have done, during the year, which is sad. So you have to change that mindset. We are not printing money. We are not like the United States of America or Canada or even Trinidad or Barbados. We are not printing money, right? We have to produce. We have to do things to get revenue, to get money, to have money to spend, to build things, to fix things, to make things. It's different from the other islands and countries, right? So take that out of your head, that the government could fix everything and do everything and turn everything around within 3 years or 2 years and a half. Because this spirit of do this and do that and do it now and fix it now, that's an evil spirit, right? It's an evil spirit. And it was planted by the NNP. I remember when NDC won the election, there was this particular woman on the NNP side who said, pay pension now, fix roads now, fix this now, make everybody prominent now, make this, just fix everything now. Giving people the impression that this government is printing money and they could find the money that the NNP could not find to fix everything, right? And this talk about, well, NDC met 500 million there and all kind of million. It's a lie. It's a sham. They want you to believe that a lot of money was left there for NDC to do X and do Y. It's a big joke. NDC has to now find ways and means to get the revenue in, and that is why we're happy that the tourism sector is doing well and the CBI program is doing well, and the tax compliance, people paying up their taxes and so on, and it's somewhat more organized, right? More structured and so on. The tax system is more organized, and people are more compliant where that is concerned. We're also happy that construction is on the rise, right? People are investing, people are building, people are doing stuff, and we are really happy about that.
Grenada's economy saw a boost of over $4 million from the yachting sector alone in 2024, a figure projected to increase in 2025. This announcement was made by Carol Hoshjialik, Chief Operating Officer of the Grenada Tourism Authority, during her remarks at the launch of the Inter-Caribbean and Pure Grenada Sailing Week 2025.
Now, the economic benefits of this event contributes to our, not only the accommodation sector, but our restaurants, our transportation sector as well. And for 2024, the yachting sector actually contributed 4.2 million EC dollars. And this is not to be understated. We have to understand the length and breadth that all of our subsectors mean to Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. But in particular, when it comes to the yachting niche and the importance of yachting as a tradition, sailing as a tradition to the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique, you know, $4.2 million in the engine, in the bowels of the various islands is very, very important.
Highlighting the participation of sailors from over 5 countries, Haszialik emphasized that the week's activities continue to position Grenada as one of the world's premier yachting destinations.
Our aim is to, 1, build on Grenada's positioning as the preferred Caribbean yachting destination. The other, to increase the number of yachts and crews participating in this national nautical event. And to culminate those aims is to increase the awareness of our world-class marinas and boatyards in Carriacou, where we have 2 marinas and 1 boatyard, and here in Grenada, where we have 7 marinas and 3 boatyards.
She also encouraged local participants to share their skills and craftsmanship with the younger generations, ensuring the continued growth and sustainability of the sector.
As participation continues over the years, we continue to encourage local sailors to share their skills and talents in boat racing and inspire the next generation to keep the traditions alive. This year, I know that we are going to be having participation from the various countries, from St. Lucia, St. Vincent, Antigua, Trinidad and Tobago, Barbados, Martinique, and of course, for an international scale, we have China. Participants, while in Grenada, we of course welcome you to visit our numerous beaches, our magnificent waterfalls, our various attractions and historical sites.
A check valued of over $12,000 was also handed over to the organizers of the Sailing Week by the management of Glasgow Bay Marina for the further development of the event. Rena P. Thomas, GBN News.
Yes, so the yachting sector is doing well, and we encourage our people to at least try to get involved in it. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. And I am talking about being trained in certain areas, because when the yachts come here, they will have mechanical issues. They will have things to repair, to fix. And if we have our people here who could do it, we can have folks creating a livelihood for themselves out of this sector. And they pay a hefty sum. Because remember, some of those yachts, they are multi-million-dollar yachts. A lot of millions for them. So if you are trained to fix them, to renovate, to enhance, to do things when it comes to the yacht that come in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, it will be a good thing for Grenada. It will be a good thing for Grenada. A friend was telling me that he was called to do some work on the yacht, and you know, the kind of salary, but as a Grenadian trained from outside. So trained outside, back in Grenada. Yes, he's a bit senior, but he was called to do some work. And he said it's a hefty sum, right? I think he said just for 2 days or 3 days, the 5,000 US or so. You know, I mean, it could be a good area for a lot of our people to get employment or gain employment and to make some money. So I hope, you know, the authorities can see what they can do to create opportunities in that sector. All right, so remaining positive. Positivity is the way to go. Positivity is the way to go.
Continuing with support to poultry farmers across the island, the Ministry of Agriculture and Lands, Forestry and Marine Resources, under the poultry aspect of Component 4 of its World Bank-funded Food Security Enhancement Project, handed over nearly 2,000-day-old chicks to over 100 backyard farmers. The event, which took place recently at the Botanical Gardens, also included a donation of starter feed to support the farmers and will continue throughout the entire life cycle of the birds to ensure their proper nourishment and survival. The chicks were handed over to the farmers by Permanent Secretary Isaac Bagwan and Livestock Coordinator Nugent Bernard. In his remarks, PS Bagwan emphasized the ministry's ongoing support for backyard farmers, highlighting the importance of the initiative in ensuring their long-term sustainability.
Under the World Bank Food Security Project, we would have targeted at least 50 farmers. They would have received approximately 17,750 chickens, day-old chicks, boilers that is, so that they could enhance their operation, increase their productivity, and of course have fresh chicken available for the consuming public. As Mr. Bernard would have mentioned, we also targeted the backyard farmers, which is yourself. We know that you are not large scale, but we felt that, of course, because you are involved in providing food for your own self and, of course, your family and neighbors, that we should also provide some support.
Bagwan noted that this initiative marks the beginning of Grenada's efforts to reduce poultry imports and boost local production for domestic consumption.
The reality is that the chicken is one of the main protein source for us in Grenada, and the vast majority, in fact, upwards of 90% of the chicken that we consume is imported. We want to change that dynamic. We want to be able to get into the market, and our target is about at least 30% within the next 3 years in terms of our production level, and of course to lift the nutritional content of the meat that we consume. Of course, the meat that we import, that is the chicken, sometimes we're not sure how long they have been on freezer, but these chickens that we are doing here are indeed probably the freshest that you could get in this regard, and I may dare say much more healthier.
Livestock Coordinator Nugent Bernard urged the farmers to use the donation as a starting point to expand their production.
Now, our expectation is, after you would have received this chicken, which is like a drum start, you will get the feed, you will get all of the chicken, all of the feed to go with it, so that the feed you receive today is only the broiler starter, right? Within a week and a half time, we are going to call you again, make an arrangement so that you can pick up the broiler grower. And then a week after again, we call you again, make the arrangement to pick up the broiler finisher, right? Now, we're hoping that through this initiative, you would continue that process to make it sustainable, all right? So we want to see, so that when the CI come back doing the assessment, of the 100 persons getting this assistance, we want to make sure that 100% is still continue growing the little backyard for your own family sustenance. And if you want to get bigger, then this is the stepping stone.
During this year, further support will be given to farmers in the poultry sector.
Yes, thank you very much, Troy Gill. There, a good piece by MTV. This is good. I love that, because what they're actually doing is providing the birds to folks who do the little backyard thing. This is not on a commercial scale. This is not this big farm. Small farms, small, farmers. They're doing their thing. So they would rear those birds and sell it. But what Mr. Bernard is saying, we are giving you a start. So what we want from you, when you sell the birds, save something. Save something, purchase more birds and more feed. And then you can continue. Because when you rear those birds, take care of them, you will be able to realize a profit. Because remember, they're giving you all the feed, they're giving you all the chicks. All you need to do is to stay put and take care of them. So you can use that as a starter and continue so you can supply your community with whole fowls, right? Whole chickens, right? Fowls. Whole fowl, I think that's the name. All right? Local whole fowls. I see my neighbor there. I would love when she's slaughtering, when she's selling those birds after the period. I would love to purchase one or two. Once I have the money, I will do so. All right, and she's on the live too, so she's hearing me. So I'm saying you will supply the community where you're from as usual. That is what you do. But you're getting a help, a hand up, not just a hand out, but a hand up, a start. This is a very, very good initiative. But the government is doing a lot to help people. You hear about the livestock that they brought in, the goats, the sheep, the pigs, and so on. They're giving people a start to move to the next level. And I just hope that the folks understand that this was not existing under the NNP. The NNP never did those things. They were never about giving you a hand up. They were never about empowering you. They were never about making you independent. The NDC is all about that. All right? The NDC is all about that. So I really love to see that happening. And I hope the folks appreciate it and that you're grateful. Because with gratefulness, you would then make sure that the giver returns to office. If you're grateful, you will go there and vote for the NDC come the next election. Because you're thankful of what they continue to do for you, the farmers in the country. We hear about the fertilizers at concessionary rates. We hear about the plans that they gave and so many other initiatives, right? Things are happening and we have to be grateful and also positive in all of this because good things are happening for our people. And I love the fact that it's localized, simple people, ordinary people doing their little backyard gardening and they have a pen or they have some cubes, as we would say, doing their thing. Man, here you got the assistance. You get the buds, you get the feed, and they would assess you to make sure that things are going good, giving you the assistance required. So thumbs up to the government, remaining positive, and that is what we need to do. The NNP will always be out there being negative. They're going to always talk bad about the government because they're the opposition. They want to come back into power, and they believe by talking bad about the government, by highlighting all kind of things that they concoct and so on, that they would get back into power. They believe so. They don't understand that our people have moved past that. We want good for Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique. We do not want to just stick on the negative, or the bad. We want to hear good things too. We want to see good things happening in Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique. And when it's happening, we are happy about it. We applaud it. We commend it. We highlight it. That is exactly what we want to see.
Work is progressing on the Etang main road between Black Forest and 1910, following significant damage caused by Hurricane Beryl in July last year. The Ministry of Infrastructure has been clearing and widening the road, and the next phase has now begun with the installation of sleeper drains and retaining walls designed to manage water flow and improve the overall aesthetics of the area. Chief Technical Officer within the Ministry of Infrastructure, Public Utilities, Civil Aviation and Transportation, Kevin Blash, provided an update on the project. He explained that after Hurricane Beryl felled trees and landslides in the area, the ministry saw an opportunity to widen the narrower section of the main road. Additionally, the ministry plans to begin work on protecting vulnerable landscapes from further erosion once funding becomes available.
So the stage we are at now is we are constructing some drains in the area, as well as a very small wall to basically hold up some of the banks. This is just part of a larger plan to generally improve the conditions in Grenada, make it a bit more safer, improve the vertical and horizontal alignment, a bit straighter, wider here and there. Also in this upcoming, this year, in this upcoming budget cycle, we are hoping to do some more intense slope protection works. So to prevent the eventuality of the slides that we always have reoccurring. Not only in Grenada, but a few other spots around the island. Some of the places on the west coast, Monkuma, and so on.
The second phase of the project will also focus on improving several bridges in the area, which were originally designed for single-lane traffic.
Another piece of the puzzle is to widen some of those very narrow bridges over the Grenada and China Road. To the persons who are familiar, who pass there probably once, twice a day, they would know some of those very tight bridges. For example, there is one just as you leave close to the Grenada and Lake. There's one that you could see some of the cobalts have fell down there. There is another one close to St. Margaret's Falls. There is one very close to, just as you leave Birch Grove. And then there is another one a little bit further down in Birch Grove, close to a place where a few years ago Smoko used to have a shop.
As work progresses, Blash noted that the ministry has been working closely with the local contractors to minimize the project's impact on the area, particularly on Grenada's rainforest.
The primary source of funding is local government funds. In terms of stakeholders, something that we've kind of tried to do is to be minimally invasive. So the type of equipment we've used has been small, not by accident, but just to ensure that because we wanted to keep the road motorable and open to traffic, that it's not very large machines that you cannot traverse the area.
On Monday, July 1st, Hurricane Beryl severely affected numerous roads across the island of Grenada, Carriacou and Petit Martinique, leaving falling trees and landslides, making several routes impassable. The Grenatang main road, especially the winding, narrow section of the road between the peak known as 1910 and Black Forest, was most severely impacted. For MTV News, Terrell Hood.
Yes, that's a very good piece there by MTV. I'm saying we are seeing things happening. Things are happening for our people. And we are pleased with the performance of the government. You see, before, it used to be a situation where NNP had all the seats. They could have done whatever they wanted. They were large and in charge. And there was no accountability and transparency and all of these things. They were just doing whatever they want. And it was like doing the same old thing, thinking that they will get a different result. That is why nearly everything was just left the same way over many, many years. Run down, abandoned, and now the NDC has to come and fix it. But some people have the mindset that the NDC could print money and find money and fix everything one time. That's not the case. It's not the case. But we have to remain positive. The NNP always accused the NDC of traveling and traveling and traveling. But do you know, when good things come our way from the travels, they don't talk about it. I remember our beloved Prime Minister traveled to Canada. He met a minister and a couple other people. They discussed certain things, and eventually we got the training started. $2 million invested in our people, our young people. They are now training to become IT specialists and so on. And the NNP will not come forward and say that's a good thing. Let's applaud that. Now, there's a delegation in China, and we were able to sign about 13 agreements with China where they would come and do things for our people here in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. You're not hearing the NNP applauding that. No, they're not interested in that. They're only interested in negativity.
The 13 agreements were signed by Honorable Joseph Andal, Minister for Foreign Affairs, Trade and Export Development, and Honorable Lennox Andrews, Minister for Economic Development, Planning and Cooperatives, Agriculture and Land, Forestry and Marine Resources, cover a wide range of areas including agriculture, energy and the environment, renewable energy, arts, culture and tourism, and the blue economy. The list of cooperation agreements include a Memorandum of Understanding on Exchange and Cooperation in the field of economic development between the National Development and Reform Commission of the PRC and the Ministry of Economic Development, Planning, Agriculture and Lands, Forestry, Marine Resources and Cooperatives in Grenada. MOU on deepening blue economy cooperation, deepening bilateral cooperation for unimpeded trade, promoting the implementation of the Global Development Initiative, the promotion of international trade, cooperation on green and low carbon development, promoting zero carbon island cooperation. Both countries also signed a memorandum of understanding on media exchange and cooperation between Xinhua News Agency and Grenada Information Service, and a cooperation agreement between China Media Group and Grenada Information Service. Other signed agreements include exchange of letters on the feasibility study of the Phase 9 China-Grenada Agricultural Technical Cooperation Project, implementation plan for cultural cooperation from 2025 to 2029 between the Ministry of Tourism and Culture of the PRC and the Ministry of Tourism, Creative Economy and Culture of Grenada. Prime Minister Mitchell welcomed this significant achievement for the people of Grenada, citing that it represents the nation's gratitude and commitment to maintaining connections with the People's Republic of China and solidifies China's commitment to supporting the economy and the people of the Tri-Island state.
That is a very good by MTV. Thank you very much there, MTV. Very, very good one. A very good news item, because you see, the NNP, the opposition, they always attack the NDC, no matter what the NDC does. Here you have 13 agreements signed that will bring benefits in so many areas to the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique. You're not hearing a word from the NNP. All they fit for is bad news, negative news, and they are creating it. The NNP is good at concocting stories. They have platforms to do it. They have the wherewithal to do it. But Grenadians are fed up with negativity. We want good news. We want to hear that the NNP is doing something in the community. Remember, the members of parliament on the NNP side, they're collecting every month $10,000 in constituency allowance. They could do little projects in the constituency. They could help people in the constituency. And I want to encourage the people who live in those constituencies where the member of parliament is on the NNP side to visit their office if they have one, because many of them don't. Visit their office or visit their home and make requests for certain things, demand certain things, because they need to help you in your constituency. They need to help you there too. They would tell you, well, they're not in government and they're not in government and they can't do this and they can't. They could do certain things within their constituency. They were in power for 20-something years, so you're telling me only enemies they were making? Where all their friends who used to eat a good food and enjoy the life? Come on. And still we are saying to our people, the NNP is in chaos. There is serious problems within the NNP. How are you not hearing Peter David? Think about it. When last you heard Peter David? Not even in the parliament. You're not seeing him around those NNP folks at all. What happened? You tell me. What really happened? And why is it that Keith Mitchell is still the leader of the opposition and Emlyn Pay was made leader of the NNP? Why she's not the leader of the opposition? Why the transition is not taking place? Why? So you're not hearing Peter David. He's very quiet. Keith Mitchell still remains the leader of the opposition. Emlyn Pay is she was made the leader of the NNP or the ruler of the NNP, but I don't think she could rule because Emlyn Pay is the NNP TV, Keith Mitchell is the NNP remote control for that TV, and Gregory Bowen is the NNP manual, the manual for the TV manual, because Emlyn Pay is a puppet leader. But I am simply saying, folks, NNP is in chaos. NNP has serious instability, serious issues. And let's face it, it's not going to change anytime soon. It's not going to change anytime soon. And Grenadians must come to that place where they can actually say, hey, see that? The NNP, we ain't want them. NNP, the new national party, is in chaos in my belief. Serious instability, serious mess exists there. And they will continue on that trajectory. They will continue on that path. Folks, we have to remain focused in all that we do. We have to remain focused because the NNP is all about spreading misinformation, disinformation, lies, propaganda, right? Negativity, bad news. It's like somebody who comes to the cinema or goes to the cinema thinking that tonight again will be a horror movie, not knowing it will be some romantic movie, some adventurous movie, something like that. And they are disappointed. The NNP loves horror stories, horror movies. That's what they like. They like to hear something bad. They don't like anything good. So a school is being refurbished, they're not going to talk about that. No. A road is being fixed in their area, they're not going to talk about that. People are being assisted with housing and so many other things. They're not going to, the NNP not going to talk about anything good that this government is doing. I listen to their podcasts and their programs. Only negativity. Only they are bearers of bad news. It's like the people, the mourners, the screamers, the people who come and cry in your your family member funeral. So you pay them to come and just, they don't have to know the person. Their job is to come and cry and to moan, to scream, dress up in black and moan and scream and bawl. And that's the NNP. The NNP are like the mourners who they invite to come to different funerals. They don't have to know. They don't have to know the person, right? They just come and bawl and scream and cry, and that's how the NNP is operating. It is sad because there are people following them, there are people supporting them. But you check it out. 2 years and a half. Can you tell me one thing that the NNP really did within that period? They're collecting constituency allowance, $10,000. $10,000. 10,00, right? So 30.00. So 10,000.00. $10,000. That's a lot of money. They're collecting that every month. They can't even do a little project in their constituency to help the people in their constituency. Come on, man. Come on. So you only have to be in government to do something. You only have to have the public purse to be able to do something in your constituency. What is that? So you need power to do things. Come on. And all people need to identify. Look at these things. These very simple things should be a learning curve for all of us. Look at the people in the NNP, a bunch of rejects. A bunch of rejects. But here it is. I am suggesting that the government do some evaluation, right, on the money given to those MPs every month across the board and see what they are doing with it and report to the general public on what they have done with that money. Because a year gone already. 1 year gone already. So you could maybe do an assessment, check it out, and do it constituency by constituency. And tell us what Keith Mitchell did with that constituency allowance within his constituency. Tell us what Kate Lewis did, or Clarice Modeste, or Emlyn Pay, the NNP TV, or who's the next one? There's another one, Peter David. Right? Well, Peter David, you're still around. Anyways, right? And tell us, and even the NDC MPs, those on the NDC side too, the government, tell us about them too, because they have been utilizing that money to do things within the constituencies. It would be nice for them to report that to the public. And then those who did not utilize it properly, don't give them. Cut it out. Because it's not law, it's a policy by the government. You could change the policy any Monday morning. I would love that to happen. Change it. Don't give them the money. Even, you see, NDC did two things that I personally disagree with. All right? But while I disagree with it, you see the point. They should have never increased the money to $5,000 for those opposition MPs. Right? Because they're giving $5,000 across the board for all the MPs. They should have focused on the government MPs who are doing the work. The opposition MPs, they're not doing the work. They're working other places, eating their food. So they should not have increased the money to them. Right? Should have left the money, how much you want? They collect $3,000 something. They should have left it just there and not give them anything. The constituency allowance, they should not have increased that too. They should not have given them any constituency allowance. They should have given only those in government. That's what they should have done. And leave them out. Because you see your enemies politically, you don't treat them good because they will come back and kick you. You treat them badly, so they could learn. If that's me. You don't treat these because they don't, watch me, NNPs are a bunch of ungrateful set of people, From the MPs go all the way down. All they want is power. You never hear them open their mouth and applaud the government for nothing. Nothing at all. That's two things that I am not in agreement with. But again, you know how it goes. There's no fair play in politics. No, there's no level playing field. When you're in power, you're the boss. Who vex loss? That's just my position. Right? Should have never given these people, because they give them more power. You see? They have more mouth now to open their, they could say anything and do anything now because they have more money coming in. They could pay their mortgage easily. They could this, they could that, you understand the point? So the government they should not have done that. There's no nice and fair and playing good in this thing. No. No. And if you want to be in politics and you want to be in church at the same time and play, you're a priest or you're a pastor, that ain't working. Because if the NNP is in power, they would not treat you kindly. They would not be like how they would not be equally kind to you. No, you're mad. They will try to crush you at all costs. Because they're coming back with vengeance. Right? They have a score to settle. So I am of the view that more you apply pressure on them is better. So I just hope that they could evaluate this thing and cut it from them. Cut that thing from them. And when you go to certain projects and so on, you don't mention these people. When NDC was in power and they had a lot of projects in the pipeline, NNP came into power and they just take credit for everything. They don't even mention the NDC. So don't try to play nice when you go, as well the previous administration started this and that. No, give me a break. In fact, give me a damn break. Don't even mention them. Don't mention them. They're not important. The government is in power. You doing the project and you leave it like that. That's it. So, but again, you see, I'm a political animal. I'm different. I understand this thing to a T. I don't be nice and kind to these people. They don't like me. They don't like the NDC. They don't like the government. The NNP, you're joking. They want to see the government out of power. They want to see NDC out. And that they're in so they could live the life and they could enjoy this and enjoy that. So they could travel and they could, you're joking. That's what they want. You got to crush them. If you don't crush your enemy politically, what would happen? They're going to get life to come back and crush you and all your siblings, all your family members. That's how they do it. because they don't want nobody there to raise their head. They're not going to only crush you, you know. Everybody around you and your family and everybody like that. That's how they do it. That's how they do it. I could tell you. A good friend said to me, Kem Jones, boy, you know, his daughter applied for a scholarship under the NNP time. And his daughter is qualified for it. When they investigate and find out, she ain't getting that because they want to affect him. So he has to now go and take a loan and all this thing to get his daughter to go to university. That's how they do it. That's how they operate. That's how they function. All right? But folks, we have to remain put. We have to remain focused. And lastly, we have some NDC supporters who are of the belief that if they don't get it personally and directly, then they start saying, well, the NDC need to take care of their own, the NDC need to support their own, and the NDC need to... There's some supporters, NDC supporters, who believe that NDC needs to give them things directly and personally. And if they don't get it directly and personally, then the NDC is not taking care of them. So the NDC could fix schools where the children go in, and they still saying that the NDC is not looking out for the supporter and looking out. The NDC could fix a piece of road right in the community where they walk in, and they still saying, well, the NDC is not looking after for the supporters and so on. The NDC could fix a bridge. They could fix a community center, a playing field, a basketball court, a netball court. They still saying, well, the NDC is not looking out for their own. The NDC could help their sister with a house, with materials. And they still saying, well, the NDC is not looking out for their own. And their children or their sister, their cousin will get a scholarship to go and study. They still say, the NDC is not looking out for their own. And the NDC had to this, and the NDC had to that. Stop all your damn stupidness. Stop it. You all are always like you want the personal thing. They have to come and bring it for you. Personal. So you have to get this, you have to get that, and stop all your damn stupidness. Right? When they fix the medical station, you benefiting from it and your children benefiting from it. When they fix the community center, same thing. And the schools. So the NDC roll out the free hot meal program, your children benefiting from it, you're still saying, NDC ain't looking over. Okay, you want it in your, you understand, your lap. You want it in your hands. Stop it. All right? That was on my mind since last night, you know. I decided to take the last couple of minutes to tell all you that. Stop it. At the end of the day, if the free tuition policy is rolled out for everybody, your children going there, your grandchildren, you're benefiting. You just want the thing in your hand. Right? And if you ain't getting it in your hand, and this ain't looking out for this, and this ain't, stop all your damn stupidness. Stop it. All right? But, you know, we good. I love all you still. And I would always love all you. But for me, I'm frank. I say it as is. Things are happening throughout the constituencies, throughout the country. You may not get it in your hand like this, but it will impact you, your family, positively. And be grateful. Be thankful. Folks, I want to wish you all the best. Have a wonderful day. I will be back with you tonight in the hub, starting from 8 in the